All right, today we're talking about how to perfect your lead magnet because now that you are consistently creating content that is bringing people to you, it is attracting your potential client to hear what you have to say and how you can help them. Well, where do they go from there? So, your content could be coming from social posts, long form content, other people's audiences. You get to pick, but they hear you, and then what? And I should mention that I always recommend some amount of paid traffic. That might be really bad news to you, or it might be old news. But where do those people go once they hear about you? And the answer is that they go to your lead magnet. I am from St. Louis, Missouri, and just like St. Louis is the gateway to the West, this is so cheesy, I really apologize, but your lead magnet is the gateway to everything else about you. So the gateway to the West was that if you wanted to go back in the day, if you wanted to go anywhere west of the Mississippi, you stopped by St. Louis to stock up on supplies. And all of your potential clients, all of your ideal clients are going to be seeing your lead magnet first, most likely, as they are working their way towards eventually working with you. So your lead magnet, I'm sorry for that. Your lead magnet is very important. It does a lot. Number one, often it is the first introduction. Yes, they're going to see your content first, but their first introduction about seeing your actual work is going to be your lead magnet. And number two is also a really cheesy Missouri thing that Missouri is the show me state. Some politician wanted to actually see something as opposed to taking some other politician's word, and therefore we're the show me state. When people are seeing and hearing your content, it helps them to actually see the work that you do and the results that you can provide and how you can solve problems for them in this lead magnet, which is it's just different. It is taking the next step from just hearing about it in your content. And number three is that, well, if this is what you can do for free, imagine what you can do if they hire you. People will naturally think that it is unavoidable. So, how do we go about creating a lead magnet that does all this? There's 3 points here. Number one is that we are addressing one very small challenge that your ideal client faces. Remember, I said one. Try to break up, like, for example, if you are helping parents who have full time jobs and they're overwhelmed by having already said goodbye to their friends and they're trying to raise this kid and they're also trying to keep their house together, that's a big problem. You want to focus on just one, like maybe a nighttime routine that helps with self care, or a morning routine that helps get them ready for the day, that energizes them. Energy is very scarce when you have kids. So, one small challenge, just pick one. When you do that, you also want to meet them where they are at. And what that means is that you're using language that they are using. You are addressing the problem as they think about it, not like you, as someone who probably has gone through the challenge that they're facing and has ended up on the other side. You just want to pull on information that you knew back in the early days of you going through that. And lastly, solving this one pain point that you choose for your lead magnet will lead directly to the next problem that you also know how to solve, but you solve one at a time. So here are a few tips is that you want to keep it simple. Speak to the one pain point. Less is more because it's just one pain point. And you want to do this all in about something that they can accomplish in less than 10 minutes. So that's why I say less is more, keep it simple. People want to get a quick win. That is your goal, is to provide a very quick win. Doing all that, you want to have a very clear purpose and benefit. So if you say that you're trying to prevent overwhelm, that is not clear. If you're trying to make people feel more calm, not clear. You really want to paint the details and make it very enticing. You may have heard me call this the projector, that you know their pain points and you know what they want, their hopes and dreams and desires. You want to paint a very clear picture about that's where they are headed if they download this lead magnet. Potentially most important is that done is better than perfect. You just need to create this thing. If this is your first lead magnet, then you just need to get this thing out there and start testing it. And if this is not your first, then, well, it's the same thing. You just need to keep experimenting. It is okay to have more than one. If this is your first lead magnet, you don't need to put so much pressure on yourself. You can always fix it later, make changes. You can always have more than one. Let's just get one out there. All right, so this is how to actually go about creating your lead magnet. We're coming up with an idea right now. And there are basically two approaches. One is that you can look at your past engagement to find topics that your audience finds enticing. You can look across social posts, emails, whatever it is for you, look to see what got the most traction. That's a really good place to start. That is how I came up with my idea of promoting this idea of getting paid to build your group coaching program. It started off as an email. I noticed that that email got more engagement than other emails, got more opens and clicks. And then I created a free course that helps people go do that. And then I incorporated that as part of my email nurture sequence, and it was going well. And now I'm creating a paid course. You can spend a lot of time making something really big and it might look good to you, but if it's not what your audience wants, then it could end up wasting a lot of your time. And number two is just to go through the lead magnet exercise that I'm about to lead you through. If you are just getting started, you don't have the past engagement to go look at, you're just going to go through the exercise and I'll walk you through it. So here is the exercise. This is the first round. There's 3 questions. What are the 3 biggest problems your ideal client faces? You're actually going to want to write these down. Grab a blank piece of paper and write these 3 biggest problems down. We're on to number 2. What does your ideal client want more than anything else? Write down your 3 ideas. Third and lastly is, what is your ideal client afraid of? Now, unlike when my daughter does this paper origami sets of questions, this fortune teller, the questions somehow seem to go on and on. I never know when they're going to stop, but I will tell you that there's only one more round after this, and the questions keep getting easier. So these 2 questions. Number 1 is, which 3 could you create the fastest and the easiest? Number 2, what does your ideal client want more than anything else? On the second one, you could write 1 or 2 ideas down. So now you have it narrowed down to 4 or 5 ideas, and there's just one last filter to apply to these is, which idea do you like the best? So here are the criteria that needs to be satisfied is that it needs to provide a quick win. Does it address a pain point? Can it be delivered electronically via PDF, download, or video? Just it has to be delivered electronically. Meets them where they are and guides them to the next step. If it does all those things, boom, that's your lead magnet. Congratulations. Next, we're going to figure out what format do you want to deliver it in. It could be an ebook, mini course, PDF, workshop, email series, video should be up there. Take some time right now to jot down some notes about what format you like. Go further, write down an outline. Write down what your next steps are to create this new lead magnet for yourself. Now, your thingamajig is going to need a name. That's the next step, is to jot down some name ideas. Here are a few pointers, is that it's nice to have the problem or their desired outcome in the name so that when someone reads the title of this lead magnet, they know immediately what they're going to get from it. And ideally, they're going to know very quickly if this is for them. So one example that shows the problem is 10 proven strategies to lower stress. An example that shows the desired outcomes is career change roadmap, how to confidently transition to your dream job in 90 days. So it says they're going to get their dream job. Somehow, it's always helpful to put numbers into headlines, into email subject lines. Humans are always gravitated when there's numbers involved. I think it makes it sound simpler. 7 strategies to harmonize your professional and personal life. It's just 7. Use power words. Unlock and live your life's true purpose with unstoppable confidence. Now, these are all things that I came up with while I was writing these slides, and unlock and live are not, I don't consider to be power words, but unstoppable I think is a great power word. Power words are more likely to get someone to act, and they're more likely to attract people, make it more interesting. You definitely want to show off your uniqueness, the unique approach of the lead magnet. The example that I came up with is the female introvert's guide to thriving in tech. That it says that it's for females, it's for introverts, and it's for those people who are in tech. That is very specific. That is very unique. You will know immediately if that is for you. It's always great to use alliteration. Confidence boosting checklist. Conquer challenges with consistent courage. Okay. Now this one is like this is definitely more Dr. Seuss than anything else, but you get the point. Lastly, get it done. Remember, done is better than perfect. What is it? Great is the enemy of good, is that you just need to get this done. You need to make yourself do it. Remember, Google Docs are okay. Google Docs can a lot of times be the fastest way to create something that you then have a link that you can share in an email. Your graphics, they don't have to be done by a graphic designer. You can. I should say that if you think that you're really bad at creating something that is attractive, hire a graphic designer, go to Fiverr. But it's absolutely okay to use the graphics that come from Canva. It's in fact highly recommended. This presentation is done in Canva. I love Canva. You can use Office, you can use Google. And remember that you can always improve your lead magnet. Whether content, the way it looks, after proving that your ideal clients are interested. You don't want to go making something perfect when the idea is not something that people are actually interested in. And then you need to deliver it. Create a form or an opt in page. The great news is that email marketing softwares make this so much easier than just a few years ago. I use ConvertKit. I wouldn't even call it a landing page. That you can create a product that people can check out in with one graphic and some words, and they call it a product. It's kind of close to a very simple landing page, and I can create one in about, I don't know, 4 minutes. You do need to set up delivery in an autoresponder from your email marketing service. You need to be able to get it to someone automatically so that you're not putting yourself into the middle of this process. And that is it. That is all you need to do to create your lead magnet. If you're creating your first lead magnet, you have all the information you need to go do that. If this is not your first, or if you're fine tuning, you got this. If you're looking for help creating that lead magnet that is attracting your ideal client, I can help. This was an integral step for me when I was working with my client who was launching her group program for the first time. We took a very close look at her lead magnet to make sure that it was what her ideal clients needed to meet them where they were, bring them along on their customer journeys so that eventually they are buying something from her, whether it was individual coaching or eventually her group coaching. You can schedule a free mini session at my website, bjbutler.com.